Hello everyone, I'm Guido Greenbaum, and we've now reached the end of this journey. This is the final module of the microcredentials course. I hope you enjoyed it and that it was useful for implementing microcredentials in your institution. And if there's one thing that's clear, it's that learning is changing, both in form and in meaning. Today, knowledge is no longer measured by years of study, but by evidence, by impact, by adaptability. Education is no longer about accumulating degrees, but about demonstrating skills. It's about institutions knowing what we can do, not just what we've passed. We are entering the era of ongoing recognition, an era where anyone can demonstrate what they know at any time, anywhere, and to any institution or company in the world. Learning has become continuous, dynamic, and without borders, and microcredentials are the common language of this new world. For the first time, knowledge has a digital identity, an identity that can be verified, shared, and valued. Until recently, the diploma was the only symbol of academic success. Today, that symbol is being transformed. The diploma isn't disappearing, it's evolving, becoming smart, dynamic, and connected. It no longer certifies only the past, but also projects the future. The new diploma is not just a sheet of paper with a seal, it's a living network of verifiable skills, a map of trust. This change isn't a trend, it's a structural transformation of education and work. In the coming years, universities will stop being just issuers of degrees. They will become managers of learning pathways. The student will own their knowledge, the university will be its curator, and the employer its validator. It's a new educational contract based on trust, evidence, and collaboration. Let's look ahead. Between 2025 and 2035, there will be a silent revolution in the recognition of learning. Blockchain and Web3 will enable sovereign and decentralized authentication of credentials. Artificial intelligence will analyze learning pathways and connect talent with opportunities. Skills passports will replace traditional CVs, and open standards like Open Badge 3.0 and verified credentials will become the universal language. Countries like Australia, Singapore, and Finland are already doing this now, and Latin America is ready to join in. The future of educational recognition will not be global by decree, but by collaboration. The most visionary universities won't be the biggest, but the most connected, the most agile, the ones that understand that knowledge isn't locked away, it's shared, because teaching alone is no longer enough. We must recognize, and to recognize is not just to hand out a certificate, it's to validate an effort, a skill, a story. For centuries, education was vertical. The teacher teaches, the student receives. Today it is becoming circular. Students learn from each other, teachers learn from their students, and institutions learn from society. Micro-credentials are the perfect tool for this circle. Each badge issued is an act of mutual recognition. I teach you, you learn, and both of us leave our mark. Let's imagine for a moment the scenario in 2035. A Chilean student with a leadership badge issued by their university complements it with a micro-credential in digital marketing from a university in the United States and adds another in sustainable management from a European institution. All in their digital wallet, all interoperable, all verifiable. The borders of knowledge disappear. Learning becomes global, modular, and personalized. But beyond technology, there is something that never changes: the purpose. Education continues to be the engine that levels opportunities, that awakens vocations, that opens paths. Digital credentials are just the vehicle. The destination remains the same: to recognize human talent. Because a credential is not valuable for its design, but for the story it represents. Each badge is a story of effort, each credential a symbol of identity, each micro-credential an open door to the future. And behind every issuance, there is a university that chose to look forward, that chose to trust in transparency, in interoperability, and in the power of recognition. The universities that adopt this model will not only innovate, they will lead, because the future does not belong to the most sophisticated systems, but to the institutions that understand the value of human recognition. And you, who have made it this far, are already part of this transformation. You are part of a generation of educational leaders who understand that knowledge is not imposed, it is demonstrated. That merit is not measured by degrees but by evidence. And that learning never ends. What we saw in this course was only the beginning. The real change begins when you return to your institution and start applying what you've learned. When you design new credentials, when you inspire your colleagues, when you motivate your students to showcase their achievements with pride. And that's where the multiplier effect begins. That's where the legacy is born. Remember, the future of education is not about teaching more, but about recognizing better. And the future of work is not about hiring based on resumes, but on evidence. Microcredentials unite those two worlds, education and employment. Knowing and doing are the bridge between knowledge and opportunity. So think about this. Every credential you issue can change a story. Each badge can open a door. Each recognition can build trust. Because behind every student, there is a dream. And behind every micro-credential, there is an institution that believed in them. That is what truly matters. That is what transcends us. Today we finish this course, but something much bigger is beginning. The stage of implementation, impact, and legacy is beginning. This is the stage where you become the reference point, the ambassador of verifiable learning in your academic community. Your university is no longer a traditional institution. Now it is part of the new global map of knowledge. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. Thank you for getting this far. Thank you for believing that education can be fairer, more open, and more verifiable. Thank you for supporting a model where skills are recognized, learning paths are respected, and learning is celebrated. This is not the end, it is the beginning of the future. Welcome to the new paradigm of academic recognition, and congratulations because you are now truly part of the movement that is transforming the history of education. Thank you very much and see you next time.